it's time to clean out the freezer, the fridge, the other freezer, and then maybe the third freezer. Because I haven't done like meal planning with what I have in a long time. I may have done something a little impulsive that I'll tell you about at the end of the video. There's a reason. We need to clean out a good bit of what is in the freezer. And tonight, it's gonna be chili. I have not made chili in so long. I mean, obviously it's been summer times. I don't usually make it in the summer, but it is one of my go-to recipes. It's one of my favorite things to eat, and it's what? It's one of my favorite things to eat, and what's great about it is the longer it sits in your fridge, the better it tastes. I have celery, some ground beef, and a whole bunch of garden veggies, just basically cleaning out my produce drawer. We are gonna use mostly fresh tomatoes in this chili. What I have to do first is get started sauteing and browning up my ground beef and chopping up the veggies.
Let me tell you this, let me tell you right now, your exquisite kiss still burning.
In my pot, I have 2 pounds of ground beef, all of the onions I found. I just had shallots and green onions, it's whatever. A couple of bell peppers. I did chop up all my tomatoes, basically browning all of this together until the meat is cooked all the way through before I add the rest of my ingredientes. It looks like that's gonna take a while. Here's all of my tomatoes. Don't they look beautiful? I do have some more peppers from my garden. I got some poblanos, some Anaheim, and some jalapenos. I'll chop those up in a second, along with the garlic. I haven't done the garlic yet. And I found these 2 containers of black beans that I had pre-cooked and froze, so we're gonna get those out of the freezer and use these as our beans in the chili today. I might have canned beans too. I'll have to look. We're just gonna kind of see what it looks like. What I like about chili is that you just clean out everything out of your fridge. Get all the veggies you have, get all the beans you have, get all the meat you have. Like you can do chicken or beef or pork or steak or whatever, it doesn't matter. And you put enough spices in it, it's gonna taste good. We are making progress. So now I'm gonna add the garlic and the rest of the peppers that I was able to chop up. Highly recommend wearing gloves when you tackle jalapenos, otherwise you'll accidentally touch your eye or your lip and then hate yourself. I have added all of my tomatoes, almost a half a cup of this chili powder right here, mostly because I am doubling this recipe. I guess normally I would use 2 to 3 tablespoons, but I just went pretty generous. A few more spices, and while I pull those out, do have, oh, hello. I'll show you that in a minute. We're gonna do some salt, and oh my gosh, I gotta wipe that off. Holy smokes. I should probably just get one of those spoon things. I feel like this is a bad plan. Hang on. Okay, I have about 1 teaspoon of salt here. I might add more later. A few more things. I'm gonna do this Worcestershire sauce and some hot sauce, if I can find it. Hello, Cholula, we'll use you. A good drizzle of that. I don't find Cholula too spicy, so I'm not scared of that one. If it was Tabasco, I would have gone a little lighter handed. And a good couple tablespoons of this. Gives it a nice, like, I don't know, meaty flavor. Okay, in here, that is still frozen solid. I didn't think I had enough liquid from my fresh tomatoes, so I have this tomato sauce that I made and froze from last year's garden tomatoes, so I'm just trying to thaw it enough to get it out of there, so I'll put that in for longer. I also added sugar, just wanted to mention that. My tomato sauce is loose enough to come out of here, I guess. Maybe, hopefully. Come on. Come on. If you've never made chili with fresh tomatoes, it is life-changing. It's like so much better than the canned tomatoes, I'm telling you. So if you get a chance, do it. Like, just do it. Most of my stuff is in here now, so I'm gonna let this simmer down and kind of cook it until it becomes soupy. And I'm gonna add the beans way later. My chili's cooked down enough, as you can see here, that I felt like I could add the beans. I put in those 2 bags of black beans that I had in my freezer. That one is still a little frozen, but that's okay. Now that the beans are in, this pot is getting very, very full. I'm gonna put the lid on and cook up some rice. I grew up eating chili served on top of rice. I know a lot of people do it differently. You do cornbread or chips and sour cream, or on spaghetti noodles, or whatever it is that you do. Go ahead and do that now. I will be cooking up my rice in the Instant Pot while the beans kind of thaw out and go all through this, and then I'll taste for salt and pepper. Here is the completed chili. I just tasted it for salt, tastes good to me. My rice is all cooked up. Some of these yellow tomatoes did not want to mush and break down, but it's only these like yellowy orange ones. I don't know what that's about, that's weird. And no, like I don't skin anything, so there are tomato skins in here. But once you put everything together in your bowl with the rice and cheese, I never really had the kids notice, although they may notice these big tomatoes. Here's the chili. I cleaned out a ton of stuff out of my fridge and freezer today. Lots of garden veggies. Time for dinner.
I used to be satisfied, getting over this surface. Now I just can't get enough.
Okay, this is a freezer clean out, I guess. I dumped frozen corn in that, and I dumped frozen broccoli in that. I thawed some chicken and poured like a jar of marinade on it and grilled it. And this is one of those take and bake loaves that I got from Thrive Market. It's kind of been in my pantry, so ooh, I just pulled that out of the oven. That's literally all I did. It's easiest dinner ever. Got bread, broccoli, corn, grilled chicken. Boom. Easy, clean stuff out, and delicious.
Now, I know this video talks about feeding your family, but don't forget to feed your furry friends some delicioso pet food. Thank you to Solid Gold Pet for sponsoring today's video. And if you have a doggy or kitty, they have a wide variety of dog and cat food available on their website. And they are totally going to give you guys a deal for being my viewers. You can save 30% on select Solid Gold products if you go to solidgoldpet.com/FFM. First link down in the description box for you. Solid Gold was the first holistic pet food company in America, started by Sissy McGill, who, yes, is a woman. She was a trailblazer and pioneer who disrupted a male-dominated industry and created a natural pet food before it was cool. Now, good pet food means a lot to me and Speedy. Speedy's a rescue. We've had him for about 5 years, although he is 10 years old. He does not have the best mouth health because he was not treated well previously, so he doesn't really have a lot of teeth. Solid Gold is awesome for him because they come really, really small for his breed. He's a toy poodle, and they have a wide variety of soft dog foods, and today I'm showing you the bone broth stew topper that can go on top of dry food to soften everything up if your animal has dental issues like mine does. Solid Gold foods are different because they cleanse the digestive system with whole superfoods, balance with probiotics, and fuel with omega-3 and 6 fatty acids, which support gut health and nourish your pet inside and out. If you want to try them out, it's solidgoldpet.com/FFM to save 30% on select Solid Gold products. I will leave you a link in the doobly-doo to go check out. Thank you to Solid Gold Pet for sponsoring today's video, and let's get back to the human food.
So I pulled these bananas out of the freezer, and I'm gonna mix up this cinnamon oat power cake, except on the back, there's a muffin recipe. So I'm hoping to double this. I'm gonna do the whole box, which I think is 4 cups. The milk, brown sugar, butter. My bananas were super, super small, so I'm gonna do 3 per batch, so a total of 6 small bananas, egg, and then I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna even bother with the streusel topping. I'm thinking no. I might just do this, call it good. Clear out some more room in the freezer, and then for dinner tonight, I pulled out a bunch more frozen veggies. I found this at the bottom. I don't know how long that's been in there. And I have a bag and a half of these Mookie Mommies. So I thought I would cook all these up, mix in some leftover rice and some leftover chicken that I have, along with some kind of bottled Asian sauce to make chicken stir-fry rice bowls. It's not really a stir-fry, it's more like a veggie rice chicken bowl with sauce. But anyway, I'm getting all these veggies out, using them up, using up the leftover chicken in my fridge. Super simple, quick, not fancy, even a little, but I will show you the finished product. All right, I laid all the dishes out and the kids ate all the rice, so I did make more rice. Here are the sauces I had to pick from. I have this teriyaki one from the Dollar Tree I was trying to use up. I think Dave used this one. I had this one in the pantry. I think this is the one I'm gonna use. Here is my bowl. So I have the rice, the little Mookie Mommies, just shelled edamame, the other veggies, a ton of chicken. This is probably 5 or 6 ounces of chicken, a cup and a half of rice, a cup of those basically. I think I'm gonna reheat this just a little bit in the microwave because I don't think the chicken's warm. And then drizzle some sauce on top. Or does the sauce go first? Oh, I don't know. Maybe the sauce goes first. Can I do it left-handed? That's the question. Please don't screw it up. Microwave for like a minute, and then this is dinner tonight. I think it looks pretty good. Something else I'm putting together from the freezer is I typically store all of my tomatoes, like garden tomatoes, in either sauce form like this or just raw in baggies. So clearly all of these are from my garden from last year. It's a year later and I have 2021's tomatoes coming on. I will thaw all of these. I had cooked up some ground beef and froze it, so I have this. And then of course my celery freezer hack, got that out. We are going to make a homemade lasagna sauce and make several freezer lasagnas that I'm going to be handing out. Follow me along that process as well. So these are gonna thaw out most of the day and I'll start making the sauce either tonight or tomorrow. But this is another huge pile of items I'm removing from my freezer. Yay me! Throwing my lasagna sauce together to simmer while I eat dinner and I can't find any onions. It's weird that I'm out of onions. I just dumped in the celery, 1 of the bags of tomatoes, 2 pounds of ground beef, and this is a garlic paste from my fridge. That tube is empty. And I definitely need some more of the tomato sauce. So I think I'm definitely gonna add 1 of these. So I'll pour that in. I will throw in some sugar and some Italian seasoning. So let me be pretty generous on the Italian seasoning. A tablespoon and a half-ish, and some crushed red pepper flakes is gonna be good. Also, hefty teaspoon. And once it starts boiling and simmering down, I'll add the sugar to just cut the acidity of the tomatoes. I know people say you can use, I could use carrots, but then I have to cut up carrots and I don't want to do that. Some people say you can use baking soda, and I've tried that and it doesn't work as well, in my opinion. I'm gonna stick with sugar because it works and it's delicious and it's what my grandma did.
For dinner tonight, we are making one of my go-tos, which is weird because I haven't made it in a really long time, but we are going to put together chicken pot pie. It is one of my favorites. It's excellent for cleaning out veggies in your fridge, freezer, chicken out of your freezer. And I do have to like put this away from our mountain bike race this weekend. So I've got some work to do in the kitchen today. Step 1, pull out my chicken. Look at all this space. I am doing so well at cleaning this out. So pull out my chicken right here. I have 2, they're not even pounds. This is 20 ounces of chicken. What do you think? 1 more? Or is that gonna be fine? That's probably fine. And I'm gonna pull out as many veggies as I can find. There's really no veggies in here. I don't know why I'm looking in this drawer. This one looks a little crazy. So I definitely have carrots. So let's get all these carrots out. I have a couple of like baby zooks. I have some green beans from my garden. You know what? We can actually just go out to the garden and see if we can find some more of these. This would be an excellent use for these. And I clearly need to wipe out this drawer right here because this is a little gross. Come on, green beans. Come on, come on. Pile of green beans right there. Here's another zucchini that's fairly large. I don't know if that one will be any good. That one doesn't look very good actually. Wow, that one's empty. Okay. Sadly, I don't have much else in there as far as veggies go. Some garlic, a couple of taters here. This is kind of all I have. Broccoli goes really well in this. I've done it with asparagus. Peas are excellent. I do have some frozen peas, so I could put those in. But right now, let's go out to the garden and see if we can find more green beans. I'm gonna bring this little basket. See if we can, or this little bowl, see if we can throw some in there. I definitely did not show the garden very much this year, but here are all of my pole beans, which kind of grew up into my neighbor's apple tree right here. We're gonna jump in here and see if we can find any. There we go. Okay, we just gotta find more than that one. Here are all of my green beans. I filled up this whole container. This is probably 4 cups of green beans easily. And I think I need to come out and pick some tomatoes and cucumbers as well. The branches are looking pretty full. Here's my little stack over here to get things started. In this pan, I have some bacon fat and butter melting, and I will put in my onion and carrots first to get started. Then I'll add the potatoes, and then the green beans and the zucchini will kind of go at the end because they don't take as long to cook. And today I am 100% using a shortcut. I have these crescent rolls, so I'm normally a huge fan of just homemade pie crust, but today I have these. I want to get them out of the fridge, so we're going to use these to top the chicken pot pie. I'm not going to have a bottom crust, only a top crust with these. This is about melted. This is going to go in first. Ooh, yes. Don't forget to add salt and pepper to taste. I threw in a couple of Yukon Gold potatoes, 2 just russet potatoes, And all of my chicken I cooked in the Instant Pot. I'm literally just throwing in stuff I like into this pan. And it looks like most of my butter has been soaked up now. So now I will top all of this with some chicken broth. And I'm gonna just barely cover everything and add salt and pepper. You'll know when you're done cooking when your potatoes and carrots are soft, like fork tender. So that one feels okay. Now I'm gonna add my last veggies. So I have my zucchini in here, and I will add this bag of green peas. Taste for salt one more time, then we'll add the cream. Maybe some instant potatoes to thicken it up if I need to. Okay, I did end up adding some of this. Just to thicken it up, I am stirring that in. I will taste one last time for salt, and then I can pop this in the oven with the crescent roll topping, and we will be good to eat in about 15 minutes.
I'm glad you came for a while. I thought you might be bailing. Is that the same
Go.
shirt you used to wear? But 1,000 years seem like almost no time now. This guitar right here, do you still remember how?
What do you think about my crust cheating?
I was crappy, but you sang along, and I thought you knew I could die to keep you near. We've got a fire in the tent.
As I was digging in my freezer, I found some frozen blueberries and some frozen raspberries from my garden from 2020, definitely a year ago. So I thought a great use of these would be some crisp. I used my standard cherry crisp recipe, which I have shared on the channel before, but instead of doing cherries, I just used blueberries and raspberries. So I started with the blueberries, as you can see here in this dish, and as I was putting it together, I realized I had too much topping, which is why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be overflowing here unless I add raspberries, put it in a bigger pan, put the raspberries in a different pan. So I was kind of trial and error-ing, is that a word? to figure out what was gonna work the best for me. Clearly, I used a pan that was too small for the amount of raspberries I had. Anyway, I ended up with a blueberry crisp and a raspberry crisp. I did them separately because I don't love raspberries personally. I just wanted the blueberry one. And I even had some whipped cream in the refrigerator that I needed to use up. Perfect use of everything. Now you might be thinking that I already made a box of Kodiak Cakes muffins in this video, and you're right, I did, but if you saw my food storage tour video, and if you didn't, I'll leave it below, Dave may or may not have purchased like 100 pounds of bananas, which are currently occupying my freezer, and I need to use them all up. So anytime I can pull out a few bananas to whip up a muffin recipe out of this, or banana bread or whatever, I'm going to take that opportunity right now so I can clear out the freezer. The reason for that I will give you in a few minutes. That's going to wrap up the clean out the fridge and freezer video for today. I did a few other things. I made some like refrigerator pickles. I'm making some canned pickles, but I wanted to make sure the recipes were a-okay before I showed them to you. So we are continuing the process of cleaning out all of the things. And you might be wondering, why? Why, Christine? Why are you trying so hard to clean out your freezer? First of all, I want to use what I have. Second of all, it's good to like do your inventory every once in a while. And third, I may have purchased half a cow. That is coming, and I'm gonna need room in the freezer for half a cow. I don't know how many pounds that is. Do you guys know how many pounds that is? I hope I didn't like jump in too early with that without really like researching it. You know what? It's gonna be fine. So if you guys want to check out any of the recipes I used in today's video, that will be linked down below. And if you want to check out Solid Gold pet food for your dog or cat, first link in the description. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.